Goes like back and forth until you kill a guy. It feels pretty weird. Like literally just point and click. Alright, so hello gamers and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you the top 10 weirdest guns in Phantom Forces. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're new. Check down below if you're subscribed. Please do subscribe. It helps me to keep making videos. Yeah, first gun is going to be going to the exotic slugs on the M79 Thumper. This is a conversion which gives you 2 shells, well 2 pellets I guess, that each do 100 damage down to 50 at range. And this also has a max range of 50 studs, so you can actually do 200, even up to like 220 to the body in close range to a decent range. Damage drop is also really good, and the velocity is pretty good as well. It's about double that of the sponge ammo type, so why would you ever use sponge? The reason for that is kind of just that you can actually kill with 1 pellet to about double the range on the sponge ammo type, but you have worse drop. You only have 1 pellet. There isn't actually a reason to ever not use the exotic slugs ammo type. In fact, the exotic slugs ammo type is actually the best by far ammo type on this gun. I love it. It's very good. At the number 9 spot, we have the M1919 conversion on the Thompson. This gives it 1,500 RPM, but it doesn't lower damage, range, or velocity. It just increases recoil by quite a bit. You keep your 20-round magazine, which is pretty good. However, because you have over double the RPM, it can be kind of difficult to actually kill people if you're not great at controlling recoil and hitting your shots immediately, because this dumps its mag in like 0.75 seconds. It's really not that great if you're not that good at the game. However, if you're pretty good and you can land your shots pretty quick and you only use it in close range, it is probably one of the best guns in the entire game. It can kill in 0.04 seconds, which is kind of ridiculous, and the reload is extremely fast, although the empty reload is a lot slower, so if you dump your magazine, it's kind of not that great for you. However, if you actually use your magazines effectively, you can do really great with this gun. Super strange gun, but actually pretty good as well. Next up at number 8, we have the Judge. The Judge is a 410 shotgun revolver. It does 51 times 4. That's a lot of damage, making it very similar in terms of damage to the Thumper with exotic slugs. Range isn't nearly as good, but up close, it can kill pretty effectively. This gun also has really high RPM. It's about 3 times as much as the Judge, which is pretty crazy, and it does single load shells, which is pretty interesting. Could be good, could be bad. It does have a speed loader to load all of its shells at once. That reload is overall pretty slow, so if you only fire 1 shot, it's actually a lot better to not run speed loader, but it depends on how spammy you are, I guess, because if you're reloading, 1 shell at a time, it's actually pretty good to use this, because you basically have an infinite size magazine. If you're really good and you can hit that shot, automatically reload your next shot and then fire it immediately. Is it better than the Super Shorty? Not really. But is it a bit underrated? Actually, kinda. I don't think a lot of people actually try it. It's one of the few shotguns that actually got a little bit better for its niche after the shotgun overall nerf. It used to have a lot better damage over range and better spread, but it had 40 damage instead of 51, so this actually has significantly better damage. Problem is it only has that to about 25 studs, so after that you're gonna have to hit 3, maybe even all of your pellets to get a kill, and keep in mind this thing drops off extremely hard over range, but as you can see, it's really good. It is really something. It also has slugs if you want that, but I don't really recommend that. I guess it has pretty good RPM, which is kind of great, and it's honestly pretty cracked, I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty good. Not my favorite secondary in the game, but probably one of the best shotgun secondaries. This, the Super Shorty, and the Saiga 12U. All those are extremely good, so yeah, pretty good. You're actually cracked. Okay, I'm actually running out of reserve. That's how cracked I am with this gun. Wow, okay. Next up, we have the Mark 11 500 Phantom conversion. This conversion has high recoil, very extreme drop. However, it does amazing damage. It can one-shot, headshot all ranges, one-shot to the torso to about 65 studs, which is really good. The only issue with it, I guess, is that it has quite a bit of drop. Is it that big of a problem? It depends on who you ask, I guess. It is annoying to hit shots if you're not that great at controlling for drop and over range and stuff, but for me, really not a huge problem. Can be annoying and inconvenient at times, but not the thing that's gonna completely ruin the gun for me. In fact, this might be the best conversion in the entire game right now. I think it might just literally be the best conversion because it can one-shot really far, but it has really good RPM as well. Next up, we have the Chris Vector with 22. The Chris Vector overall is just a weird gun. It doesn't really function how it should. Recoil-wise, it should have pretty much only horizontal recoil, and it just doesn't. It shouldn't just have a ton of vertical climb. Because of how the recoil is managed within the gun, it shouldn't have this kind of recoil, but also it has 22. And 22, it has no recoil. This conversion has an extremely fast reload time, but only 10 rounds and awful damage. Lots of reserve ammo and extremely low recoil, and despite doing 25 to 12 damage, it can actually 2-shot to the head, which is pretty cool. It has a 2x headshot multi, which is significantly better than most automatic guns. Most auto guns in this game have about a 1.4, so this is actually doing more damage than the 35 damage gun that is the default Vector. So the 25 damage one actually does a little bit better headshot damage than the default gun, which is why this conversion is actually quote-unquote balanced in its own way. It actually has a damage benefit. Over range, not so much. Over range, it's really bad. However, it's super accurate. You do have 200 reserve though, and extremely accurate recoil. And your velocity is not too bad either. I think it is a tiny bit worse, but not like a ton worse, and it actually isn't really going to feel like that much of a difference. In fact, this gun is going to feel, you know, extremely good in terms of velocity because it has no recoil, so you can actually focus on tracking your targets. Next up, we have the HK51B. This is a carbine variant HK21. It has 950 RPM, 100 rounds, and super strange recoil. Basically, it just goes side to side. Like, that's about it. The recoil is super easy to control because you really can. I guess you can pull down a little bit at the beginning, but it just kind of goes like back and forth until you kill a guy. It feels pretty weird. Like, literally just point and click. Is this an amazing gun? Actually, kind of, if you think about it. 41 damage to 22 and 950 RPM. This has MP7 RPM, but does like 11 more damage. And 3 shot to the body, 2 shot to the head. But its damage drop-off is really bad. It loses about half of its damage in like 40 studs, which is, you know, really bad. But hey, in close range, it's insane. It fires really quickly, and it has 100 rounds. And it's just such a strange gun. I don't even know why it made it into the game. Now we're into the top 4, and the first one is going to be going to duplex binary kit on the Beowulf TCR. This gives you a really weird burst mode where basically if you click and then let go, it'll fire on the click and fire on the letting go, which essentially will give you automatic if you just click a lot. And this is unlike any other automatic or burst gun in the game, except I guess the binary kit on the SL8. However, this is also duplex, so your bullet I guess gets split into 2 portions. It's like a 5.56 round, but there's 2 projectiles inside of that. I don't know why. Whoever invented this is probably being hunted down by the local authorities or the international authorities. This probably breaks the Geneva Convention. No way it doesn't. Like, what the frick is this gun? It does 35 times 2 times 1.4 to the head, so it can actually 1 shot to the head and 2 shot to the body, and it falls off super hard. However, you know, click, let go, and then if you just click, it has like full auto. So if you like semi or burst guns that don't want to actually have any skill involved in actually clicking them, this is a great option. At number 3, we have a shotgun known as the E-gun. The E-gun, as you probably know, is a 3000 RPM burst shotgun railgun. Yeah, this gun is pretty whack. Soon it's going to get a buff, which is honestly really cool, but right now it does awful damage. I don't know what setup I'm using right now, but this one does 9 to 5, and I think this is actually an improvement on the base gun. I think this one is actually built for damage, but as you can see, not great damage overall, but does really fire quickly. 3000 RPM, regardless of the damage, is going to be able to kill in some scenarios. In the future, this is actually going to become a little bit of a different gun. The auto is going to be a lot better. The burst is going to be pretty good as well, but it's going to have a lot less reserve ammo, but be built far more for damage, which I kind of like. You know, it's going to actually have good damage. It's going to do 20 instead of right now it does 9 damage. However, it's going to fall off just as hard, if not harder, over range. And also, you won't have as much reserve ammo capacity, which is kind of annoying. I feel like there should be a way to keep like kind of med damage, but actually have a lot of reserve. And I'm not talking about pennies. Pennies just do awful damage. So regardless, it's kind of an interesting change to the gun. I think it will probably be better. You know, it's going to be better. Come on, bro. But having like 300 reserve ammo was so good. Now you're gonna have like 75, which is really not that great. I'm not gonna lie, but you know, at least it's going to be improved damage-wise. You're gonna be able to get it up to a 3-shot kill, which is really good. 1200 RPM auto, that's going to be insane. A 3000 RPM burst, that's going to be even better possibly. So that's kind of gonna be like a vector, but with lower recoil, but awful damage drop and awful bullet drop as well. Or I guess disc drop, because it's not really a bullet, it's like a metal disc. At our number 2 spot though, we have a carbine known as the cannon. This is essentially a sniper rifle, except it's a carbine and it fires golf balls, or like a bunch of other things actually. It can fire golf balls, it can fire tennis balls, it can fire Block C colas, it can even fire a cannonball, which is pretty interesting. I prefer golf balls and the 50 Beowulf blank ammo type because then it has kind of insane performance with like its headshot killing and stuff. I think it can also torso kill to a pretty good range as well of like 75 studs. This is actually a super great sniper rifle. It's kind of stupid. No, it can't torso kill. That's super interesting. I thought it could. But cannonball has awful drop. However, it can actually limb kill all ranges, which is really good. It actually can limb kill farther than the BFG. Bonk. How are you not dead? Okay, I'm lagging. I was about to mold so hard if I just didn't get the kill there. Okay. Really funny conversion, I'm not gonna lie. Oh man. But at the number 1 spot, we have, of course, the Gyrojet Carbine. This actually fires rockets. Yeah, it fires little tiny rockets. You've probably seen this gun before. If you guys didn't know, it has really bad drop, and in real life, it would actually increase its velocity over range. However, in this game, it doesn't do that, but it does something actually better. Close range, this will 1-shot headshot and be like a 3, maybe a 2-shot to the body. However, in long range, this can actually 1-shot torso and 1-shot head really easily. It has awful drop, sure, but like it can torso kill at long range at over 200 RPM. It can one-shot torso. Not just the head, but the torso. This makes it like an M107. Like literally same RPM, but it actually has like that ability to fire at that speed. The M107, yeah, it has that RPM, but it can't really utilize that effectively. This, on the other hand, yeah, it can. It literally can. Bad drop, but if you can use this effectively, it's literally like the best gun in the entire game. And it also does 50 limb over range. So if you miss the torso, you can actually just hit 2 limbs and still get a kill. But if you hit the torso, you hit the head, it's always going to be a one-shot. It's an amazing gun. It's probably like the best gun in the entire game overall. In close range, 200 RPM headshot kill. That's better than the SVU. And it also has great movement, pretty quick reload time. More people should probably be using it. It's super high rank, but like I actually recommend you pre-buy it. If you actually utilize this effectively, it is genuinely overpowered. It just requires a bit more to it, I guess, and that's a problem that people don't understand. But like, you don't have to be that great because it has so much RPM. Like, it actually requires, in a lot of cases, a bit less skill than a regular sniper rifle because I can fire like 4 times, you know? I don't really have to like, you know, be great. It's also got a ton of reserve ammo, so super strange gun, weirdest gun in the entire game, but possibly the best in the entire game. They're pretty interesting overall. If you guys did enjoy them, make sure to like and subscribe if you're new, but I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Have a nice day. Can I kill you? Oh, frick. Wah! What? You threw. You actually threw.